What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. As we continue on our world famous NFL Draft Prospect Series, I bring to you a very exciting prospect. He had a monster pro day. He's had an amazing college football career, a very exciting open field tackler, great when it comes to defending the pass. When I watch him back in coverage, it's almost like a linebacker who's playing a cornerback, man. He's very, very good. And any NFL team that gets him, man, they're getting a major asset to that defense. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome 2024 NFL Draft prospect, Loren Strickland. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic, man. How did your pro day go, man? Because I saw the numbers, man, and it looks fantastic.
Um, Really, we kicked it off. I hit 18 reps on the bench. I was feeling pretty great about that. I was hoping to get 22, but 18 is great, and I'll take it. And then we moved on into the vert, which is really where I turned some heads. And I was feeling very confident going into there because that's always been a strong suit of mine. But I touched 38, and
Wow.
as soon as I could just hear everybody watching, going crazy and just in shock. And um, it was like all my nerves were cleared by that point. And from there, we just kept rolling. I ended up getting a 10.5 on my broad right after that.
Ooh.
And then into the 40, they ended up clocking me back with a 4.52,
Uh-huh.
which is great. Um, um, and then, yeah, I had some solid agility drills. I got a sub 7 on my L drill. My shuttle was I'm not sure what that was, but I'm looking to get that back here at the local pro day in actually a
Yeah.
month with the Colts. So
Awesome.
even I mean the pro day was very strong, but I'm honestly excited about the local pro day because I think I got better in me, and even
Yeah.
I mean in every drill across the board, honestly, I think I can improve on.
That's awesome, dude. That is so great. How have your interviews been going with different NFL teams?
It's been great. I'll say it's mostly been about just trying to learn about me, figure me out, get to
Yeah.
know my story because it's not really out there yet,
Yeah.
and my name and my face is new to a lot of people. And so those guys, they really just want to get to know me. It kind of it excites them and intrigues them with how I performed, and to not know anything about me really. So I think it's awesome, being a new face right at this time, it's perfect timing, can't complain about it. And, I'm hearing great things from them, and I can't wait to keep going.
Man, and take us from the beginning, man. Where are you from? What was it like growing up? And when did you first fall in love with the game of football, man?
So I grew up in Chicago suburbs, mostly on the north side, way out west too. Sometimes I moved around a lot though as a kid, and I grew up with three older siblings. I have two younger siblings, and then my parents, and then my uncles. Everyone was always athletic in my family, and we always played sports. And it's the thing we
Yeah.
always talked about. Growing up with my cousins, all I ever did was play outside. We were playing tackle football in our backyard for years.
Hmm.
And I was always very athletic. I was always a lot more athletic than a lot of my cousins and even a lot of my friends at school. So it really was just that. I had some. I didn't have the best childhood, I'll say. So I didn't get to play a whole lot of football, honestly, growing up. I was moving around a lot, like I said, and
Yeah.
there were some issues here and there, um, just with my parents and everything. And so I didn't really get to play until eighth grade, going into high school. And even from then on, I was a smaller kid going into it. I know in eighth grade, at first it was a little shaky, and then by my freshman year of high school, I started to really take over and dominate.
Yeah.
I played mostly running back throughout high school. Played a few
Okay.
years defense to start out high school. I was very good at it, but we needed me to play offense, so I switched over to running back full time my junior and senior year, and that really got me to UIndy, which was a Division II school in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I went there to play safety because my passion was defense. I loved hitting guys. I mean, as anyone
Hmm.
will see on my film nowadays, that's my strong suit for sure. And
Yeah.
I figured if I was going to have any type of career long term, that I wanted to be on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I played safety there for 3.5 years, and then I graduated and I transferred up to Ball State,
Hmm.
mainly just in terms of I wanted more competition. I wanted not to knock UIndy at all. It's great competition, great program. I love those guys down there. But when I had the chance to grad transfer with 2 seasons of eligibility, I was like, I got to take this. I gotta go see what's out there for me. And
Yeah,
luckily, I knew somebody at Ball State, and I got in touch with them. And to be able to go from Division II to FBS football, just it's just insane. And
yeah,
I
big
was like,
jump.
I definitely, I got to do this. And
Uh-huh.
they took me in at Ball State. I had to walk on actually, which is another interesting twist to my story. But I was so confident in myself. I took that opportunity, and he told me, if you're going to come in here and beat guys out, then we're going to give you a
Mhm.
scholarship. So I was like, that's all I needed to hear. And so I went to Ball State as a walk on. Um, Played there for 2 years. By my second year, I earned my scholarship, and then I was starting. So it was really just exciting story from what I came from, and just constantly having to prove myself and having pressure on me. And I
Yeah,
loved it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I think it's made me into such a better person even going through this process, because you got to be gritty, you got to be humble, but you also got to be confident and know that you're going to have to prove yourself every single time you step in front of a scout or anybody. So um,
yeah.
I'm very comfortable in those situations. I think that's why I dominated on my pro day. Um, and yeah, basically my story.
That's cool, man. That is so awesome, man. And yeah, you overcame it a lot of ways. You had some stuff going on with your parents, right, not with you, but with them. It sounds like, and then there was some moving that came with that, and then going to a Division II school. And that's a big jump. I played D2 ball myself, so I know the skill. And there's a lot of great players in D2, but man, it's a big jump. Like you guys played Georgia last year, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's huge.
exactly.
Kind of thing, man. And then you absolutely crushed it, man. Trainings that you're doing right now to help take your skills to the next level. Because man, I see you on tape, and it's like, man, it sounds like you're getting better. So this next year of football for you, whichever NFL team selects you, man, is going to be really great, man. So what are you doing right now for your training and whatnot?
Really right now, so I have a great foundation. I think just with my body wise, my size, I'm where I really need to be to play at and be successful. So
Yeah,
it's really about all those little finer things, the fine twitch muscles, just anything I can do to help improve my athleticism here and there, just be quicker, be faster, be twitchier, all those things. And then obviously on the field, it's all the footwork, the backpedaling, just keeping my hips nice and loose and open, making sure I'm attacking the ball, playing the ball, improving my ball skills, just my hand-eye coordination, just all those little things that the key difference to being just the things that separate people, the small
yeah,
details. It's all those things. I'm fortunate enough. I'm in position. I don't need to be stronger. I don't need to gain weight. I don't need to.
yeah.
So it's really about everything else I can do to put my body in the best position possible, to be successful amongst the best athletes in the world. So um,
Definitely,
that's
absolutely,
really
man.
that's really it where I'm at right now. It's just about doing that, staying committed, sticking to the diet, and um, being happy, being good with being boring. I'll say
Yeah,
that's something an old coach used to say. He's like, you want to be boring. And so
yeah.
that's really just where I'm at, and it's still exciting, but yeah,
Yeah, you got a thing you're doing right now, and it's working for you perfectly, man. So keep up the great work. I'm
thank you.
curious to know who are some players that you've modeled your game after.
I'll say growing up, I was a huge Tyrann Mathieu fan. The Honey Badger.
Yeah,
That was my guy. And then I loved watching Jamal Adams. Through my first few years of college, even a little bit in
uh,
high school. And it was mostly his LSU tape. And to be honest, I wasn't watching his tape at the Seahawks or the Jets. It was a lot
yeah,
of his LSU stuff. I loved how aggressive he plays. Coming down into the box a lot, and just the way he hits
mhm,
people and attacks people, and his confidence out there. And the same thing with Tyrann Mathieu. Both those guys, they play with so much confidence and swagger, and it's just even for Tyrann Mathieu being the undersized guy, as guys will say I am. That I relate to him a lot in terms of his tape, just because you can
yeah,
see it doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter how big you are, but that guy's coming after you, and he's the best player on the field. And then um, Ed Reed, everyone watches Ed Reed, obviously, just because his
yeah,
physicality, being who he is. I watched him a decent bit. And then there's guys here and there that I'll try and watch. I try to take pieces from everybody I can.
yeah.
But if I had to be honest with you, is really was Tyrann Matthew and Jamal Adams.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And I like that you mentioned something, and it stood out to me on your highlight reel is how you play in the box, man. Your open field tackling, man, like laying guys out, man. It's an exciting highlight reel, man, and I love to
Thank
see it,
you.
man. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Who are some people that have inspired you in life and who have helped for you to get to where you are today?
I'll say probably my grandmother. To be honest,
Awesome.
I mentioned that I had some of those issues with my parents. So my
Yeah.
grandmother actually took me in and became my guardian for a few years. And she's a very religious lady, and
Yeah.
she was that person in my era as when I was a kid, just always giving me the wisdom and just pushing me to be further, be the best version of myself, to treat people with the utmost respect, and just be humble. You know, that was her, but. She raised my dad and my uncles, all of them. They
Wow.
had some things with her parents, so she's been through a lot of things. She's learned a lot, and she's someone in my life that is very close to me, and I really confide in with a lot of stuff. And she really pushes me to be the best version of myself. Her, and then I'll say I have a couple coaches here and there in my life um, that they connected to me at a young age, and just
Yeah.
they were always there for me. And it's people that um, I always had an open and honest relationship with growing up, so it's made it very easy to keep those people in my life because they're always checking up on me, and it's genuine, and
Yeah. They don't want
just
anything from you.
of course. And then I'll say honestly, just my nephews and my siblings, they push me to be the best version of myself. And even though they may think I'm doing a lot more than them, they still inspire me just to keep going. I want to be great for them, and
Yeah.
just lay out the foundation for them of what it can be when you really,
Yeah.
work at something. Um, and then yeah, just my parents too. My parents push me. My mom does anything and everything she can for me, and I'll do anything I can for that woman. We have a relationship like no other. If you heard me and my mom talking, you would think I was talking to my best friends. It's awesome. And those are really the people in my circle that push me right now and just inspire me to be the best version of myself.
Definitely, man. That's so cool, man. Thank you for sharing that, man. It's also
Of
you mentioned
course.
about the nephews too, man, because uh, yeah, I like oftentimes it's usually like a coach or mentor or a parent, but man, the source comes from younger people too, man, because they inspire you, they look up to you. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
some of your first fans, I guess you could say, right? So
Yeah.
that's always very cool, man. That being said, once your name is called, whether no matter which day in the draft it is, or UDFA, or somewhere in between there, man, you're gaining interest from NFL teams. You have a great tape, you have great stats. I gotta ask, man, what is some of your goals year one on an NFL roster?
Well, obviously, my biggest goal is going into make the team. Um, just I think a lot of people get wrapped up in the wrong thing going into this process, and they forget what the ultimate goal is here, and that
Yeah,
how cutthroat it really is, and that it's a 53-man roster. It's tight, and you got to be pushing for that every single day. You got to keep reminding yourself that is what you're here for. Don't let anything else get in the way. So I'll say that's my biggest thing, honestly. And then outside of that, it's just mold myself to be whatever an NFL team needs me to be. I like to look at myself as that Swiss Army knife, that ultimate chess piece, and I got a lot of skills and I can fit in a lot of different places, and I want to be someone that a team looks at as I'm so valuable that they want to keep me around. I can do this, I can do that. I understand this. I know how they want this to be played. Doesn't matter if I'm a backup guy, on the sideline. I want to be the best version I can be of that person. I want to be the best backup there is on the field. If I got to play on every special teams unit and I got to do the dirty work, I want to be the best special teams player on the field. I want to be the best special teams player that season.
yeah,
And then obviously, if I can get a starting role or I can start on the field, I want to be the best player on the field. I want people to know my name. I want to stand out when I'm out there. I want to be the guy that's all over the place, hustling to and from the ball. Um, I want to own my role in my first year, and I want to be that guy that everyone values because I take everything so seriously and I do everything I can to make sure I'm who I need to be.
I love it, man. And you talk about being a role player, man. You're definitely that, man. Like you, whatever it is that you do, I know you'll shine no matter the scheme. I know you'll shine. That being said, I always like to ask this question, and this is for the people who love breaking down film and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite scheme that you have that you feel maybe makes some of your defensive attributes pop a little bit more?
Usually rotated a lot through boundary safety or our nickel position. Obviously, was more like an outside linebacker. I'd say anything that puts me down in the box, anything that makes me come down and be a tackle, be a force, be a guy who has to set the edge. So, most coverages that have a roll down safety, playing one high or whatever it needs to be. I think that's where I flourish. That's where I thrive because I can cover out of the box or I can come down and I can hit in the box. I can fill a hole just like your Mike linebacker can. And
Yeah.
I think just any system where you allow your boundary safety to really go be aggressive, be that guy, go get the ball.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. And we see it on the tape, man. Like we see you back there, with the speedsters, and then we see you up in the box, man. Like I said, you're like a linebacker who could play DB, and if you just play DB, you would crush it. If you got moved outside linebacker, you crush it. Like if you safety, you crush it. Like, and I love that about your tape, man. As we wrap up the interview, man, I always love asking this question. It's one of my favorite questions to ask. What's something you want NFL teams to know about you that perhaps they may not know about you already?
NFL teams to know that I'm a head down team first guy. I'm a blue collar worker, man, and I attack everything and I earn everything. Nothing is given to me. I think my track record proves that. I go after what I want, and I'm going to find a way to get it done. And I do anything for the team, and I own my role. And I'm sneaky athletic. I'll say this. I'll surprise you. I surprise a lot of people over and over and over again. And it's just something about me that always happens. Year in and year out, I'm always surprising somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Loren Strickland, defensive back coming out of Ball State. Y'all saw the highlights on the tape, everything, guys. This is a guy that so many teams could benefit from. You look at Miami, they need multiple defensive backs. You look at a defensive coordinator like Brian Flores over in Minnesota, he uses his guys got to play like 3-4 different roles. Even though they may be a DB, right? You see him there. You see him in Indianapolis. I mean, there's so many teams that can use a Loren Strickland, man. So I would argue any and every team, even if they have a good 4 guys already, man. This is a guy who will claw his way to the top. He's gritty, he's blue collar, and this is the type of guy and mindset you want on your NFL team. So, Loren, thank you so much for coming on the show today, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, comment below. Let me know how this interview made you feel. I want to hear how where you guys' heartbeat is at. Also, go in the description of this video. Give him a follow. Get inspired. I'll have his Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff down there. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.